Taylor Swift's new music video, Endgame, features the singer in a way we've never seen her before. She lives large, makes mistakes, and brags about drinking alcohol like your 14-year-old cousin. On the surface, it looks like Taylor Swift has evolved way beyond her original country sweetheart aesthetic where she was always wearing a prom gown in a forest. But is Taylor's new image actually all that different? Stay tuned to learn how Taylor and her marketing team are making a conscious effort to manipulate us into continuing to listen to her stuff and buy her tickets. Hello television viewers, my name's Nick DiRamio. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel. Now, I feel like before we get started, I should say that I am not hating on Taylor Swift one bit with this video, and I'm certainly not hating on Reputation, the album as a whole. There are songs on this thing that I cannot stop listening to. I have been an avid Taylor Swift listener since 2006 when her first self-titled album came out, and I was obsessed with Our Song. I remember my friend Emily showed me this song on MySpace when it came out, just to give you an idea of when we're talking about here. Every single album so far, I think, has moments of pure genius. I've been watching her over the last 11 years. I've been with her on this whole journey. She's worldwide now. Okay? I'm not saying that Taylor's doing anything wrong here, but I love marketing. I love PR. I love stuff like that. And since she started to cross over into pop with her album Red in 2012, I've been curious to see how she's going to navigate this transition from being a squeaky clean, advertiser-friendly sweetheart to a fully matured pop act, meaning adults and millennials are still interested and still buying their tickets, and it's not just something that, you know, people's kids are into. I feel like from the very beginning, Taylor Swift has had an eye on this topic, because when you think about Taylor Swift, you have to remember that it's not just one person making a decision, it is a huge company. Taylor Swift employs hundreds of people. The people who make and sell her merchandise, production crew, who go on tour with her. As a business, they have to think, okay, how are we going to keep making money off of the Taylor Swift name for the rest of her career and even after she's dead, with things like estate planning, hiring a biographer, managing her archive of costumes and music, all of that has to be thought of. So when Taylor Swift wants to make a decision and she's like, I want to be a bad girl for my next album, it's not just like that. She buys a black leather jacket and starts recording. She started making aesthetic changes and musical choices that were moving her in a pop artist direction since Red in 2012. 1989 being her first full pop album was of course where she really started to establish her brand as a pop musician, and now we've landed here at Reputation where she's trying to say even more. I think we should first start by fully defining what Taylor's current branding is. But before we get into it, give this video a big thumbs up if you want me to talk even more pop music on this channel. And if you're new here, I would love to have you click that subscribe button to join the Nick D crew where we have new videos every week. As I already said, I am not hating on Taylor Swift in this video, and I think Reputation in many ways is a very well-written album. But let's also remember that it's not an album that was solely written or produced by Taylor Swift. She had some heavy-hitting producers on this, and I think you can hear in the album which lyrics were actually written by Taylor. They'll usually have something to do with the dress she's wearing, the color of her boyfriend's eyes, her red lipstick, seriously with the red lipstick, just a couple Taylor Swift tropes. That's what makes it so easy to identify what Taylor Swift is trying to do with Reputation. She writes in pretty literal imagery of what type of brand she's trying to build for herself. So with Look What You Made Me Do, she has all this snake imagery in the video because of how Kim Kardashian called her a snake, and everybody was spamming her Instagram with snake emojis. Everybody was thinking, oh my god, she's embracing the fact that she's a snake, she's totally calling herself out on it, what a unique thing to do. But then you fast forward to the video for Endgame and there's an Easter egg. We see Taylor Swift playing the game Snake on her Game Boy Nothing. Clever, Taylor. You're telling us that you're just playing the snake. And that really is the storyline that's told through the rest of her album. If you listen to the song, she's actually saying like, oh, the world is so heartless and the public just wants to twist me around until they have some version of me. Let them think what they want because I have my baby. She talks about her baby a lot in this album. It's cute because I know she's talking about her boyfriend or whatever, but I also just picture her singing to a newborn baby the whole time, like from Les Miserables or something. It's a theme that keeps coming up in this album. Check out the music video for Ready For It where she teases the line, they're burning all the witches. When that video came out before the album, no one knew what that was referencing. Well, surprise, she's referencing herself to the song that's later on the album called I Did Something Bad. One of my favorites. You guys have to listen to this one, it's so good. I'll just play the chorus real quick. They say I did something bad, then why's it feel so good? They say I did something bad, then why's it feel so good? Anyway, later in the song, you get this part that's so heavily auto-tuned that it makes me cringe, and she says, they're burning all the witches even if you aren't one. So light me up,
light me up.
That whole line just doesn't flow for me. They're burning all the witches, even if you aren't one. Like, long sentence. I don't think that's saying what Taylor Swift wants it to be saying. Hey, she wants it to be like, light me up. I don't care. Burn me at the stake. Do what you will, because I've got my baby. What you're actually doing is basically what everybody was complaining about back when the whole Kim Kardashian thing happened, is that you're always playing the victim. You're just martyring yourself even further by being like,
you can burn me at the stake if you need to. I'm over it.
Okay, so now let's talk about what Taylor Swift wants from these albums. By that I mean where Taylor Swift's team is trying to extract the most money from the public. I think Taylor Swift's goals were to combat the negative press that had come about during the 1989 era. Her popularity took a big hit with millennial women during that time who were relating more to Kim Kardashian being fully exposed on social media compared to Taylor Swift, completely opaque about everything. She has no transparency with the public. Going around with this squad, which was all of her pretty young white friends. So I think Taylor Swift was making a really conscious effort with this latest album, Reputation, to improve her likability with other adult women. But I think her bringing on Ed Sheeran and associating herself with him in 2012 was making a big step towards her current image. She felt she could align herself with him because he could do a few things that Taylor Swift wasn't ready to do. He was like this British man, so he seemed really quite opposite from her, but still very sensitive. But his songs could have a little bit more of a grown-up flair, you know? He talked openly about drinking and making love to women, so I think Taylor Swift was like, yes. I mean, I'm sure they're also friends, I'm not denying that. I think she saw it as a really smart business move to be like, okay, if I get Ed Sheeran in here, like it might bring some more women into the fold. So Ed Sheeran really started warming us up to associating Taylor Swift with certain things that she had never spoken about before, like drinking, going out and partying and having fun. I'm young and I'm having fun and I just don't care. I think after you've dominated pop and country, the next natural crossover that you would want to make is hip hop. The hip hop community is not going to be an easy win for her. We have the whole white girl squad, but then we have her unnecessarily implicating herself into Nicki Minaj's observation that the VMAs did not nominate women of color. Taylor wasn't doing herself any favors by getting herself into that little Twitter spat with Nicki. And then of course being featured in Kanye's lyrics for Famous. And you know, despite all the drama surrounding Kanye's life, that album Life of Pablo was really influential over hip hop listeners. So to me, this music video for Endgame is just a culmination of all of Taylor Swift's efforts to really maximize her profit off of this album. And I don't blame her for doing it. I mean, she has to maximize her profit off this album because her sales are slumping. So we come out with Endgame, and to me, this is the video where she's trying to say, okay guys, the first two songs were all about how I'm a snake, but in this video you'll get to see that I'm really just your average person who gets to travel the world and makes massive amounts of money. So she's pulling out all the stops. We get Ed Sheeran in there to maximize her hipster credibility, and then we have Future in there, her hip-hop collaboration.
Ooh, you like the bad ones too?
You so dope, don't overdose, I'm so stoked, I need a toast, we do the most, I'm in the ghost like I'm whipping the boat.
Which I will admit fits into the song at least a little bit better than Kendrick Lamar's verse on the remix of Bad Blood.
But I ain't respecting quite sincere no more.
Oh, it's so sad.
So we got Future on this one, and I think she's just hoping that this will feel like a much more organic sound. Let's just look at Endgame for a second and really nail down what Taylor Swift's whole aesthetic is for this album. It starts off on a mega yacht, and Taylor is in a pair of trash bag sweatpants, and then there you go, that's her first nod to alcohol. She cannot get over the fact that she can talk about drinking now. I think she learned one dance move for this whole entire portion of her life. She throws her skull to one side and jams the rest of her body to the other side. Big reputation, big reputation. I've got trash bag pants, For this portion of the video, Taylor's hair is inexplicably wet. Oh, and now she's in Tokyo. And this is where we meet Ed Sheeran for some reason. They're both in Tokyo together. And guess what? They're taking shots. It looks like a Johnny Walker commercial when they focus on the alcohol so much. Anyway, Taylor and all of her friends are in this Tokyo bar where there are like only a handful of actual Japanese people. She's eating noodles with them, so. I also love that Ed Sheeran literally didn't even take off his coat for this. Like, he looks like he's trying to get out of there. I mean, in general, Ed Sheeran just seems kind of embarrassed to be around Taylor Swift. But quick, get into your spaceship, because we're going to London now, where she has even more racially ambiguous friends. They stand outside and they stand outside. And here we just got a bunch of fun Tumblr gifts. Room service french fries and vintage video cameras. Who's not having a good time? And then she toasts with the whole crowd holding her glass of beer like it's that scene in Rent. She doesn't just drink martinis and champagne, she'll also drink beer.
Drinking beer out of plastic cups.
She's just a regular girl. Fourth time making sure we see her drinking alcohol, someone gives her a sip of a martini while she's playing Snake on her discount Game Boy. Between the alcohol references and the obsession with Great Gatsby style imagery, she's basically a 9th grader. God, I want to buy her hoodie so bad. Here's more of her in a robe with wet hair, blowing bubbles because Manic Pixie Dream Girl. This scene where she kind of scats and raps a little bit, you wouldn't even believe it. She's wearing jewel tone eyeshadow and she's showing the most midriff of the whole video, so get ready for that. Also, there have seemingly been fireworks going on in London for the whole time she's there. She should be concerned. That might be distress flares. I really don't have a problem that Taylor is trying to evolve her image like this. I guess the issue is just that her lyrics make it so obvious and none of her other producers step in and correct her lyrics. When they just let Taylor be Taylor, it comes off as dishonest. That just leaves us with a couple tired Taylor Swift lyric tropes. In Reputation alone, the thing is alcohol. That's really the new thing that stands out. She's conjuring a mental image of her drinking a cocktail in almost every song. You can make me a drink.
You can make me a drink.
I knew it from the first old-fashioned we were cursed.
Knew it from the first old-fashioned we were cursed. I was just drinking.
Oh my god, she was just drinking? Amy Winehouse's alcoholism wishes it was Taylor Swift's alcoholism.
Everyone's swimming in a champagne sea.
Drinking beer out of plastic cups. Every song, she can't get away from it. She can't stop herself from bragging about like the fact that she can talk about drinking now. Makes me very curious about you, that you think this makes you cool now. That's new to this album, but like there are other lyrical tropes that I'm just astonished are still making their way into albums after all of this time. The red lip thing constantly upsets me. Ever since the album Red, where she first started wearing red lipstick, she's tried to brand herself in our minds as someone who's always seen wearing red lipstick.
Cherry lips, red lip, classic. Red lips and rosy cheeks. So here's the truth from my red lip. Crimson red paint on my lips.
And then since the beginning of Taylor Swift, she has not stopped talking about her dresses. That being said, here are the songs off Taylor Swift's 1989 that I just can't get enough of.
This is why we can't have nice things, darling.
So good. I sing that in my car 100% of the time. You can ask my boyfriend. I also love
I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day.
I thought was beautiful.
King of my heart, body and soul. Oh,
King of My Heart is also up there as one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time.
so here's the truth from my red lips.
Those are my observations off Endgame, Reputation, and Taylor Swift in general. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. Have you noticed any of these things about Taylor Swift? Or do you completely disagree with me? Let me know that too. Drop a like, it really helps me out, and lets me know that you want to hear even more about music business and things like that. But if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button to join the Nick D crew of television viewers. It's so cool hanging out with you guys, so make sure you click that subscribe button for new videos from me every week. You can also follow me on social media. You guys are all the greatest. Thanks for talking Taylor with me today. I'll see you next time.